Segregation is the act of separation of different racial groups in a country, community, or establishment. Segregation started about 200 years before the Civil War. It started with slavery, but after the war it became worse for the blacks. There are many different important events that happened in history that dealt with the segregation. Some of the events were not as major as others, but there were many events that went too far, some leading to death and some leading to people losing their homes. One major event that happened where people lost their homes was the stick removal that happened in the 1900s. The Styx removal all started with a man named Henry Flagler. Henry Flagler was a large landowner. Everywhere that he would buy land, other people would immediately invest in his land. He built land all over Florida. Henry wanted to eventually conquer all the land of South Florida. Henry was born in New York. During the Civil War, he started business in salt. When the war ended, he lost all of his profits. After that, he returned to Ohio, where he invested in Standard Oil. He then traveled to St. Augustine, where he got there and saw there was poor tourist housing and transportation. He decided to fix the Grand Hotel and improving train travel. He then built the Ponce de Leon Hotel, then built two others. He also purchased the Jacksonville, St. Augustine, and Halifax Railroad, which later expanded Florida's railroad system down the East Coast. Henry then started expanding his hotels and trains to the Palm Beach area. The first two hotels on Palm Beach were built by Henry, one of them being the Royal Poinciana Hotel. The Styx town sprang up on Palm Beach County Road, just north of the Royal Poinciana Hotel in the 1890s. There were more than 2,000 black workers working at the nearby hotels. Since Henry was eager to get all the land, he really wanted to oust the residents so he could develop the land. He tried to get rid of them on health grounds. It is said that Henry built a circus set up across the Intercoastal Waterway in West Palm Beach, and he gave the black residents free passes. And it is said that while they were enjoying the show, the KKK came and burned down their homes. Some people say that Henry even hired them to do it. Even if the KKK did or didn't burn down their homes, the KKK have been a problem against everyone for a long time. The KKK hate everyone who isn't white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, so basically everyone who is different from their own religion. The group started after the Civil War. One of the most recent worst things that the KKK have done was they changed a black man at the back of a trunk and dragged him to his death. So that is why it's said that the KKK burned down the black people's homes at the Styx community. They don't just hate blacks, so they hate everyone, including Jews, which is what I chose to do this story for my project because it sounded really interesting and was one of the major events that the KKK have been said to do. I haven't had something this extreme happen, but I had one incident in Israel. There are many people that hate the Jews, not just the KKK, including Arabs, which leads me to the experience I had in Israel. Over the summer, I went to Israel with my family and friend Tali's family. In Israel, there is a lot of shopping markets called shuks. There is one shuk in Jerusalem that I love. It is an Arab market though, so it's a little scary. We had gone through the whole shuk and now we're at the end. But as we got to the end, I recognized that we were at the wrong exit. It was the Jewish quarter, but it was not at the right end. Everyone stopped at this one jewelry end to do a quick look. As I got there, I saw my sister and Tali's mom started laughing really hard. I didn't know why though. I was trying to tell them we were at the wrong exit, but nobody could hear me. I started seeing the owner was getting really mad and started yelling at them in Arabic. So they walked away, but they finally heard me and were in the wrong area, so they all got scared and just stared at the owner at the store. He was really mad. None of us were going to move, but finally my mom did. Then she started walking over there. The owner started to pull something out from his shop. Me and Tali thought it was a gun and got really scared. Thankfully it wasn't. It was some fruit. He took the fruit and whipped it at her head. Then my mom walked back towards us and the other guy started spraying her with water. The owner thought that we were going to steal something because we were Jews. That was an example of being stereotypical, just like the KKK are. This was a very eye-opening experience of how people can be very stereotypical. Before I hadn't had any experience and anything to do with it, but now I realize that people are experiencing it every day and what we can do to change it. Reading and learning about this and my experience really made me think about many things and how if I see something like this happening, I will try to help those so it can stop happening. So if you saw something like this happening, what would you do to try to stop it?